You are listening to TechVibe Radio. It's coming at you from the Huntington Bank studios. TechVibe Radio is your front row seat to Pittsburgh's fast-moving technology ecosystem. TechVibe is brought to you by the generous support of Blink at 321blink.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, C-Leveled at c-leveled.com, Compunetics at compunetics.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, My Benefit Advisor at ptc.mybenefitadvisor.com, and PNC Bank at pnc.com. Here are your hosts, the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting. This is Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Technology Council, bringing you TechVibe Radio this very early Sunday morning. And if you're up listening, I got a treat for you today because Robotics Month, Do the Robot Month, continues here on TechVibe Radio, where every single episode in April is dedicated to the most kick-butt robotics companies here in Pittsburgh. And today is, I think, oh my goodness, it doesn't get better than this. When you talk about the story of Aurora here in Pittsburgh, when it comes to self-driving, these guys are at the top of their game, and they are investing in Pittsburgh like it's no one's business. Their growth, I can't even keep track of. What I do know is I have an Aurora t-shirt, and whenever I wear it, people think I work there, and I wish I did sometimes, because I think it's so cool what they do. And today, joining us, we have Matt Blackburn, who's going to tell us all about what Aurora is up to today, because there's so much. He has a hard time keeping track of it all, because it's going by so quickly. Isn't that right?
I sure do. There's a lot, and it's good. It's all good stuff.
Absolutely. And Matt, we could not be doing this without the help of Huntington Bank today. So I am camping out at Huntington Bank in the Strip District to bring us these shows, because the Strip is the heart of it all. It's where Aurora is located. You're just 2 blocks away from Smallman Street here.
See the office from here.
Yep, exactly. So cool. And without Huntington, we couldn't do this. And they just make it so much fun for us. They give me a ton of coffee, right?
That always helps.
A ton of coffee and some peace, love, and donuts. And I'm happy. I'm happy at that point. So it's good stuff. And so first off, Matt, tell us about yourself real quick. What do you do at Aurora?
Sure. So, first of all, I'm honored to be here. I'm a big fan of what you all do.
Well, thank you.
Tech Council. You guys do great work, and a lot of what we do is made better by the work that you guys do in broadcasting and telling people.
Keep talking, man. I like the way you talk.
You guys do great.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So, as you said, my name is Matt Blackburn. I manage our government relations for Pennsylvania and along the East Coast here for Aurora. I spent 15 years in the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House. Before I came over, I worked for a number of senators and congressmen.
Well, that's quite the change going from that.
It was a big change.
To a company like Aurora, man.
I came from this U.S. Senate where everything's still pen and paper.
Yep.
To a tech company that everything's on Google Docs.
Exactly.
And there was a learning curve for me.
It's like Google Docs and flip-flops, right?
Yes, totally different. Very different than the U.S. Senate. But it's been great. I've been there a little over a year,
awesome.
And I've loved every day of it.
You got to be having way too much fun.
I'm having way too much fun. And now that we've got our new headquarters open on 16th, it is just so good to be in the heart of the Strip District.
Yeah, I mean, this is the center of it all. I mean, literally, it's the heart of Robotics Row. And to see Aurora's commitment to Pittsburgh. In fact, I mean, you guys named it the headquarters last year.
Yes,
you got your offices in California.
Yes. And we got great offices in California,
absolutely.
But this is such an important part. I mean, Aurora is Pittsburgh built, and this is who we are.
Absolutely.
Aurora.
Oh yeah.
I tell people all the time. I said 2 of our 3 founders were from CMU,
exactly,
and
right.
One of them still teaches at CMU.
Exactly. That's what's so cool. Is that I founded this little company called Aurora, and I got time to teach as well too, because that's what their passion is. It's in the research and everything like that. So tell our listeners, give us the quick pitch about Aurora, because what I love about Aurora is it just comes down to safety at the end of the day. I mean, as much as self-driving is cool and awesome, and it's just mesmerizing technology, that's great. But at the end of the day, it's solving a big problem. It's called eliminating death.
Yes. Well,
how about that?
That's exactly right, and that's a mission you can get excited about.
Exactly.
We always say at Aurora that we are delivering the benefits of self-driving technology safely, quickly, and broadly.
Exactly.
And we use those words in order. Right? Safety is at the heart of what we do.
Top of everything. That's what I've come to learn over the years that I've known Aurora now.
Totally. That's our DNA. That's who we are. And so when you think that this technology will make every facet of our life safer. So we get everything we do has got to be done safely. Quickly, we talk about quickly because we lose 40,000 Americans every year.
See, that's the type of stats when you say 40,000 lives, like That's like, wow.
It's a staggering number.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of those accidents are human error.
Exactly.
On highways, on residential areas, it doesn't matter. Those accidents occur, and that doesn't even take into account the people who are severely injured in car accidents.
I was going to say.
It's a huge number.
You could say sometimes it's even worse if you have some sort of catastrophic injury, like you're paralyzed or something like that.
Totally.
I mean, my goodness.
So many of those accidents are human error. And then we talk about broadly, too, because not only is there an enormous commercial element to this, where we can improve the supply chain issues that we've got all across the country right now on the trucking side, on the semi side. But on the other side, we've got one of the reasons that I wanted to work at Aurora was that my father-in-law is a disabled Marine who's had MS for 30 years.
Okay.
He hasn't driven in 30 years.
Oh my.
And he does not live in an area where it's easy to get an Uber. He lives up in Lawrence County.
Okay.
And when I think about how much his life has been impacted by his inability to drive, we can change that dynamic for folks.
That's cool.
Changes everything. It's a big, big deal.
So that's a lot of passion behind what you want to do. You got this personal cause to make this company succeed. I think a lot of people that work at Aurora, it's the same way. I know we had our keynote speaker at Big Data, Dima. I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life.
It's a tough last name.
It's a tough last name, but he basically leads up the engineering on the trucking side of things. And his whole passion for this was around the fact that his girlfriend was killed by a driver that was texting, right? A distracted driver. And to know that there's a technology solution, pretty powerful. So I can see why he gets up every day. He cannot wait to get to work to make a difference, right?
We've got so many employees. We've got more than 800 employees here.
Wait, back up.
Yep.
800 employees
in Pittsburgh.
Just
in the Pittsburgh area.
Oh my goodness.
And these folks get up every day excited about what they're doing. Because they know, and there's a lot of employees at Aurora who've had personal experiences.
Exactly. There's a lot of Dimas there, and there's a lot of Matt Blackburns there, where they have a reason that this company's got to work because we want to solve some problems here.
That's right. These are problems that have to be solved, and we can do it.
I love it, man. It's just so very exciting. So let's talk a little bit about your digs here in the Strip District.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like you just moved in, like I said, just around the block here from Huntington Bank, which I think is totally cool.
It's a great bank, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
So tell me the space there. I mean, obviously you got all types of space for development and back office stuff. Like, give us a little mental tour here.
Sure. So our headquarters, 1654 on Smallman, so right across from the terminal building. We've got 3 floors, the second, third, and fourth floor, mainly offices. We've got a number of other buildings throughout the Strip in the kind of between 30th up to 38th
You got
Street.
the vehicles and all the fun stuff,
all the fun stuff over there.
Exactly right.
But the other fun thing we have at our headquarters, to the right of our headquarters, if you're looking straight on, is a parking garage. The first floor of the parking garage is what we call our showroom.
Nice.
And our showroom, we haven't opened it yet. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to be utilizing the showroom for an event with some house members who are coming in.
Okay.
So that'll be the first time it's really been used. But it's a great showroom to kind of showcase both our trucks and our passenger
So you can fit an
vehicles.
18-wheeler in there?
We can fit, without the trailer, we can fit the front end. We tested it today. It works. I was there today. So
very cool.
I mean, a lot of this, too, is we want to be able to have these vehicles, not just on the highways or on the roads. We want to demystify this a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right? And so if you've got a truck that's on 16th Street and people are walking by the terminal, they can look in the window and say, okay, this is what they're talking about.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
It helps to demystify
You make it tangible.
You make it tangible. You can
Exactly.
see it. You can touch it. You can look at it. And so we'll be doing events with the Tech Council. We'll have people come over
We can't wait.
come
We
over
want
and
people to check it out. Because we want the public to be able to see this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's people here in Pittsburgh
Yes.
that are doing it, which is even more exciting.
That's the best part.
And rumor has it you have like 150 open positions or something like
We have
that
a
right now?
ton of open
Yeah,
positions.
it's like ridiculous how many positions you're trying
And
to fill.
and a lot of those positions are in Pittsburgh. And so I would encourage your listeners to go on aurora.tech/careers.
Okay.
Take a look at those positions.
Yeah.
There are so many positions. And it isn't just, I think sometimes people think all we do is hire PhDs and
No,
electrical engineers.
it's more than that,
It's
right?
across the board. We hire HR folks. We hire lawyers. We hire government relations folks. We hire all sorts of people. And we're always looking for more.
Love it,
so
man.
we are expanding. So we would love people to apply.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with a lot more of Matt Blackburn from Aurora. We're going to talk about your partners that you have, because it's not just the 800 people you have here in Pittsburgh, but it's the partners you have here. I want to talk a little bit more about really how you're deploying this on trucks first, because I think there's a multi-prong approach here, and attacking that first is part of your strategy, which I think is really interesting. And I think about some of the other companies like Locomation that are in here using trucking as well too, and like the Idelics of the world that are doing safety management. I feel like there's a whole transportation thing going on here in Pittsburgh that we're going to explore one of these days. So,
absolutely.
So keep your dial tuned right here. We got a lot more about Pittsburgh's robotic industry. We put our focus on Aurora. We're doing that from Huntington Bank here in the Strip District. I'm your host, Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Tech Council. Whew. If that's not enough, go to pghtech.org and learn more about the Tech Council right there, and aurora.tech. Check out one of those 150 open job positions that are
Please
there.
Do.
If you need like a part-time radio host, maybe I could put my application in. We'll see. We'll be right back after this quick break. Please come back. The labor market is increasingly competitive. The best and brightest employees no longer just want top-notch compensation and benefits. Your teams need a continuous people improvement platform that ensures your talent chooses to stay and grow your company. Visit www.work.software to learn more.
For more than a decade, Blink has been producing unique creative services and solutions that tell a story, move hearts, and drive decision-making that advances business objectives, your business objectives. We adopt a company-wide policy of candor, transparency, and a good old-fashioned work ethic in the pursuit of building long-lasting relationships with our clients and our partners. From video and design to strategy and digital marketing, Blink is here to creatively advance your business. Visit us at 321blink.com.
All of the cool kids are listening to TechVibe Radio, and so are you. TechVibe Radio is coming at you from the Huntington Bank studios and is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, Link, Chorus Call, C-Leveled, Compunetics, Huntington Bank, My Benefit Advisor, and PNC Bank. Here are your hosts, the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting. So glad you're listening to TechVibe Radio this Sunday morning. Guaranteed 100% fun or half your money back. Simple as that. This is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council, and we're hanging out with Matt Blackburn from Aurora, hanging out here with Huntington Bank in the Strip District, because what better place to be than in the Strip when it comes to talking about robotics companies, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So every time I roll into the Strip, I just see everything new that's going on down here, and it's being driven by tech. Yeah. It's being driven by the robotics that's happening here. And I'm just like, I mean, before we came back, we were talking about like our days in the Strip District, in the late 90s, and wasn't a whole lot going on here other than, I don't know.
If somebody would have said that this would be the headquarters of tech, of robotic tech in the United States, people would think you were crazy.
I like the way you said United States.
It is.
Because that is true.
It's true.
It's like, take that, Boston.
That's right.
Yeah. If anyone out there listening, you want to know, Pittsburgh's robotics industry is literally the tops in the world. And it's because of Carnegie Mellon University, some work with Pitt as well too. But at the end of the day, Pittsburgh is leading the way in robotics. It's because we have companies like Aurora here. So before we get back into this, in case you just joined us, so Matt, tell us about Aurora real quick. Give us the quick pitch about how you make self-driving safe.
Sure. Aurora is a company dedicated to making transportation safer.
Absolutely.
We have more than 800 employees here in the city of Pittsburgh. We've got about 1,600 nationally in different offices around the country.
But the headquarters
is here in Pittsburgh. Yes. We are Pittsburgh built and Pittsburgh based.
I love it, man. Simple as that. Super cool. Absolutely. So one thing I'm excited about is your strategy to really start getting this technology out there is in the trucking industry. Yes. It's just so cool because the trucking industry, it's a great place to start because you have more of the open highways and you're not navigating the tricky stuff with all types of obstacles, so you can really get the stuff working. Plus, it solves a problem with trucker shortages right now because God bless the truck drivers, man. They are carrying the weight for us here.
They sure are.
I mean, I think the pandemic has proven everything we touch touches a truck at some point in its life.
It does. Well, and it's such a difficult job. I mean, truckers have an incredibly difficult job. The average truck driver in the United States spends 300 days away from his or her home.
I know, it's crazy.
That is a very, very difficult job. Yep. And so what we want to do is we want to supplement that workforce, right? And so we've got, I think the last numbers I saw, 80,000 truck driver shortage in the United States. And that's only going to grow. The average age of a truck driver is in the 50s.
I think more are retiring than they're adding to the ranks, I would have to assume at this point.
And, the supply chain, I think, the supply chain problems have really crystallized for most people how reliant we are.
Yes.
And, you see a truck driver, thank a truck driver for the work.
Absolutely, man.
It is a really, really tough job. But there's a lot of places that I think there's a lot of truck drivers who'd like to keep doing that job, but like to do it more closer to their home, right? And not being away, doing the kind of last mile trucking as opposed to being on the road for 300. There's not a lot of people that I know who want to be away 300 days a year.
It's probably great for like a week, and then you're probably tired of it by that point.
I would think so.
They're like, wait a second, this trucker cap's a little tight. This vest is starting to itch me a little bit.
It's tough. It's a tough job, and so we want to supplement, and we want to say, here's a place we can play, and most importantly, we can make it safer.
Well, see, I like the way you use the word supplement there, because people want to say, robotics is just taking jobs away. No. It's making the job safer, and it's helping to become more efficient.
That's right.
It's not taking away. It's creating opportunity for new things to also be created around it as well, too.
Yes.
But especially with trucking, it's not like all of a sudden all these truckers are out of a job because these autonomous trucks are just hauling things. Like, no.
Not at all.
I just look at if you even just trickle down half the technology that you have in one of these self-driving trucks just to alert a driver of something because they're tired and they don't see something. That's going to prevent an accident and save a life.
Yes, absolutely. Now, anything we can do to remove, most accidents are caused as a result of human error.
Exactly.
And that is as true in the trucking space as it is in the passenger car space.
It applies across.
And it does, it doesn't, there's nothing else we can do to make a human driver safer on the road. All these additions we have on cars, on new cars, all those things help. But at the end of the day, the real problem, the real struggle is the driver.
Absolutely.
And we've all been in situations where we're driving at night, it's dark, we're tired. All these things are real. Our technology doesn't get tired. Our technology doesn't have too much to drink at a party. Our technology doesn't change in that regard.
Absolutely.
And so this is how we can take those 40,000 deaths that occur every year and drive that number down in a meaningful way.
And as you get it working on the trucking side of things, you bring it down to the regular automobiles, which I've seen your cars going around the streets of Pittsburgh, and I see them. I'm like, oh man, I just love seeing that.
Well, I think that's one of the advantages Pittsburghers have that a lot of places in the country don't have. Is if you're in the Strip for more than 20 minutes, you're going to see a vehicle driving.
I tell you, I've become a data point in one of these cars. Like I'm on my bike track standing in front of it at a light. It's seeing me, so I think somewhere in your system, I'm a data point.
You probably are, maybe more than one.
Absolutely, I'm hoping so. So let's talk about the partners that you guys have, because I think that's. Not only is there 800 employees here, but the fact that you're partnering with so many companies.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Partners are such an important part of what we do, right? So we have a great relationship, obviously, with Uber, which is the largest global ride-hailing.
Bought them and all.
So we have
the Advanced Technology Group.
That's right. Yes. So we have a great partnership with them. The other thing is Volvo and PACCAR when it comes to the trucking side. And so, we're not going to be in the business of becoming a truck manufacturer.
You don't want to manufacture trucks?
We don't want to manufacture trucks. We want to put the brains in those trucks. Yeah, exactly. So there's a huge opportunity with Volvo and PACCAR. And then on the passenger side, we use the Toyota Siennas.
Exactly.
And so Toyota is a fantastic partner. These partners bring so much experience, hundreds of years of experience.
And they bring their engineering, they bring some of their processes into place as well, too. So you start integrating what you have into their stuff.
Yes.
And it just becomes like magic at that point.
Well, and I think a lot of times, too, in this space, people always say, well, this is 10 years down the road, or this is 20 years down the road. Mm-hmm. Right now, in Texas, we are delivering for FedEx.
I know. That's so cool.
In autonomy, 5 days a week, at nighttime, during the day. This is something that's happening now. Now, we have a driver in the vehicle, but at one point at the end of next year, we're going to begin that process of pulling that driver.
So exciting. So talk to us about, this is something that Pennsylvania is working on right now. We've got to make sure you guys can test here in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
It's a big deal. We can't right now. And there's steps that are happening because, right now, you have to go to Ohio as the nearest place.
Well, so we can. We test here. PennDOT is a great partner.
Of course,
PennDOT does a great job. We're working on some legislation with PennDOT. They do a fantastic job. But a lot of states have made it easier. West Virginia, in West Virginia, just passed the law. Now it hasn't been signed by the governor yet. West Virginia is going to have one of the best AV laws in the entire country.
And that's what we need in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So, and it's one of those deals because like the technology moves so fast, it just outpaces legislation.
Totally.
And legislation moves way slower.
Yes.
And we know that it's going to happen here in Pennsylvania. But I just would like to bring it up because like we keep nudging the Tech Council. Like these companies can go elsewhere to do this if they have to.
Totally.
We want them here in Pittsburgh.
We want them here in Pittsburgh, and we want not just for it to stay in Pittsburgh, we want it to grow in Pittsburgh.
Grow in Pittsburgh, exactly.
Right? And this growth can be exponential.
Oh, yeah.
And it's,
Well,
it's
there was that
incredible.
recent report from RIDC where,
Yes.
this is like $1 trillion global opportunity. And so you take that, if we get 1% of it.
Yes.
Just one. And I think we can maybe get 2.
I think we could probably we might even get a couple percent. The thing about that impact study that RIDC did with the R.K. Mellon Foundation, I ask people all the time, I say, how many jobs do you think are in the Pittsburgh area in the autonomous space? Not just autonomous vehicles, but the autonomous space.
Exactly.
People say 1,000, maybe 2,000. What? It's 6,300.
Yeah.
6,000, and there's 15,000 indirect jobs.
I'd love to know what the average salary is and that as well, too. It's it's pretty sweet.
It would be.
Yeah. And that's why, the best part is, as you said, it's not just the PhDs that you need. You need all types of people.
Absolutely.
And so the idea that we can get everybody taking part and participating in this awesome wave that's coming, that's building right now, and we can keep surfing this thing. Let's hang 10 over it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, think about, how many times in Pittsburgh we've talked over the last 20 years about people wanting their kids to be able to live in Pittsburgh when they get older. Stay in Pittsburgh. We've talked about that this industry is how we do that.
Absolutely.
It's one part. It's not the only part, but it's a big part of how we do that.
Such fun stuff. We only got about a minute or so left. What's the one thing you can leave us with to say, what's Aurora going to do this year that we can kind of look forward to, do you think? What's a big milestone that you guys are kind of shooting for?
I think a big milestone this year is continuing to build out the technology so that we're ready for next year. Right?
Definitely.
And I think we're all coming out of this pandemic. Hopefully, we're out of this pandemic.
Yes.
And where people are starting to kind of return to what we like to think is normal life again.
Matt Blackburn, Aurora, thank you for hanging out with me today.
This has been a lot of fun.
So much fun making you part of the Do the Robot month here on TechVibe Radio. Got to thank Huntington Bank for stepping up and letting me hang out in their Strip District branch here to have these interviews. Too much fun being a part of it. I'm not next.
Hey, thank you.
TechVibe Radio is coming at you from the Huntington Bank studios and is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, Link, Chorus Call, C-Leveled, Compunetics, Huntington Bank, My Benefit Advisor, and PNC Bank.